Boom, 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 boom. Alright, what's up, everybody? How is everybody doing? Wonderful, I hope. Hope everyone had a green day. I'm not going to be taking, I am drinking Evan Williams Kentucky bourbon tonight. So I hope everyone had a wonderful day. We're just gonna, why is Robin Hood away? Oh, Qualcomm. While we're waiting for people, why don't we take a look at futures, see how futures are doing. Just do a couple things here. We're waiting for people here. Looks like futures are still trading in this range right here. Kind of cresting. I am on the 4 hour though. Let's get a little closer in here. I mean, we're struggling with this zone here. I had this for a while, and this zone is clearly struggling to break out one way or the other. It is coiling though. So with the news that I just heard that I think I heard that the stimulus is almost done. Let's see. So, House votes to speed stimulus package after Biden meets with Democrats. I mean, new stimulus check plan cuts number of eligible people. 1,400 stimulus. I mean, I would think that would be positive. I have been getting thousands of requests for LMT. I think we're going to do LMT as a training tonight. I think that would be really good. Evan Williams has a special place in my heart. It's kind of a personal story, but the reason I drink it isn't necessarily because it's the best whiskey. It's because of the memories I have when I drink it. I lost a dear friend of mine when I was younger, and it was one of the whiskeys we drank together, and his name actually happened to be Evan. So it's kind of like I'm with him when I drink it, and makes me feel at ease knowing he's out there. So that's why I drink it. Hey, King Scraper Alex, nice to see ya. So yeah, this is futures. Sorry, I got a little serious there. Didn't mean to bring down the mood or nothing. I am certainly gotten over it, but I'm a big proponent of we should never forget the ones we love. So it's kind of my thing that I do to every now and then I'll get myself a bottle whenever I feel like I want to have a good time. You know, it always brings back good memories. Alright, so I am not seeing anything wave-wise here with the blast radiuses, as some people have called them. Nothing crazy that's going to happen tomorrow. I would love us to be green. I have been mainly calls, so just reading up some comments here. We're going to go through some basic charting. I think I want to explain when I look at a ticker how I go into it and what I do from the beginning. Let's say like I've never looked at the ticker. You know, I do it really quick on live, but I don't always explain what I'm doing. So I want to take about an hour tonight and try to instill some knowledge in how to take a raw ticker with nothing on it and plot out where you think it's going to be, you know. So we'll check back on this at the end of the live and see where futures are at, but let's bring up LMT. So let's pull all of the stuff off of here. Oh shit, do I have an alert on that? Nope, I don't. Okay, then we can get rid of it. Alright, so I usually start with the 4 hour, if not longer. So depends on what you're looking at here. So I mean, I can already see LMT looks good where it is right now. So this is where a keen eye comes into place. First thing you want to do is notice trend lines. and then you get into the technical. So I always do trend lines first, to see if there's anything I can see, and I see something right away. Maybe I have a more trained eye than you, but if you were looking here, I guess the question is, where is the trend line that you would draw first? I know where I would draw. Most people would probably try to find like a pattern down here, but there's really nothing that stands out to me. So I'm looking at this, and I'm going to show you what I see right here. So I see a clear pattern across here that looks just like this. So you can see you had resistance, now support, and so this is a support line that goes all the way across, and I really like that line right there. And I don't know how many people saw that, but I could see it right away. And maybe that's just something that takes practice, but I could clearly see the bottoms all matching up there. So this could be a very good entry line here, and it does look like we're starting. I mean, what is this right here? What is that? Get out of there. Why is there a circle there? Okay, there we go. So, I mean, a lot of times people miss trend lines, and I mean, that could be a number of reasons. So, I see another trend line there, and this may continue to go down, but in the short term, this should go up a little bit at least. I'm just probably going to avoid LMT for a while. I got my kicks out of it right here on this, and I tried to play it again and failed, and I'm just going to try to find... This setup is not great. Honestly, it's not a high probability setup in my opinion. It's still in this downtrend right here. So what could happen is it entirely could break out here and then bust up to 360 or so. And playing the breakout here would probably be pretty smart. And here's another thing you can do. So if you want to know you're in a channel, I'm going to show you this trick. I use this one a lot. So you can see on the bottom side, the channel is pretty defined on support, but the top of the channel is not as defined. So you don't know where the top is. Well, there's a simple way to find out. You just right click, clone, and then you can drag that to the top, and then there's your channel right there. So while it may not have a lot of resistances here yet, it is still got a couple. It's got two solid candles there and a third there. That is most likely the channel right there. So keep that in mind. So right now there's no reason whatsoever to play this, even with this bullish flag right here. Until it breaks this channel line, I'm not touching it. And the other thing you have to see here is, not only did it not break the channel, but it failed to break resistance here. So I always look for these simple things first, and if you learn these things, it's a pretty good start. So if you can identify channels, and if you can identify support and resistance here. So the big thing you can see here on this downtrend channel, you can see this was support here, but now it's resistance here, and it's not breaking over that. So I'm not touching LMT, and I would not either. So now there's some more advanced stuff you can do, and you see me do the advanced stuff a lot, just because I like it. Ideally, I mean, you might be looking, you could do some things like, high to low here for resistance fan, and that's how you would have known it would have rejected right here. So while it may break out here, getting over 345 is probably still a tough cookie to get. You can add some spirals on there if you really wanted to. That tells me that it's probably potentially going down here. So this could go up here and then come back down. There's no reason to play LMT right now. The earnings put it down, and I don't really like it. So let's look at Apple. So not everything requires Fibonacci. Well, let's go back. You want to know how I use Fibonacci there. So these two things that I just drew with the fan and the spiral are definitely Fibonacci, but there's another way you could do it to find some levels out here. So let's say this was your most recent high here. You could do a retracement down if you wanted. So you can see this resistance line that we got here is actually at the 236. So that is very important that it gets back over the 236. If it does not, it is most likely going down farther. So you can see these Fibonacci lines have played major resistance points in the stair step down here. So until it's probably going to ping pong down here again, and then it might ping pong around in here, and then it'll finally make a decision. So I wouldn't invest in anything that just dropped 9%. I would wait and let it decide where it wants to go. I don't actually use the pitchfork. I try to clone my channels 9 times out of 10, but not always, because sometimes you have wedges, so you got to identify what a wedge in a channel is. This is TradingView. This is a free tool. This is not what's in the Discord. That is artificial intelligence that identifies things. I'm trying to teach you how to do stuff by hand. So, what's up, Turtle Joe? Yeah, I mean, this is just TradingView.com. So, someone could probably type that out, or I'll type it out here. So it's just, I don't own this site. I just use it because I like the software. So, I mean, I don't identify any fib lines as bullish or bearish. I just play the levels if it goes above or not. I mean, ideally, the 618 to the 382 is what's called the golden zone. So this is usually where you'll see stocks hover around a lot. And if it gets above the 618, then that is bullish. But if it rejects off the 382 or the 236, that's bearish. So I do pay for TradingView because I use a lot of its tools that are required in my position. But most people do not need to. I'm a very unique person that has to pay for it. I mean, I don't know, Conkabar. I mean, that's a very wide open question. I would need more defined question than that. So, again, like, let's say we're identifying Apple here. I get a lot of questions on Apple, so let's take a look at it. You know, first we want to look at our resistance, our support lines here. So there's a pretty clear support line there. Looks like we have a resistance line up here. So we want to identify that. You know, it does look like Apple may curve down here and then bounce. And then I think after hours, I saw news. Yeah, the big candle after hour. So I'll be curious to see how that plays out tomorrow. Now that we identified the major support and resistance, we can actually zoom in a little more. You can go to the hour or the 15-minute. For our purposes here, we'll use the 15-minute. So a lot of people like to use the fib resistance or the fib retracement tool here. You can go high to low, and then we can blow this up a little bit. So you can see here it's struggling in this zone, but as long as it doesn't go below, if it goes below 133, it's probably going back down to 130. But just based on the trend line and everything, I've been pretty bullish on Apple for a little while. I think we're going to retest 139 here, and from there let's see where it goes and how it reacts there. But 139 would put us at the high here in this zone, and that would make a lot of sense to me. So all of you are talking about Sava. Stop it. So a lot of you still like Redfin. I know I wrote about Redfin a while ago, but Redfin's been doing very good. So, I mean, what we're looking at here is to try to see where it's going to go next. So, you could use a fib retracement fan and go low to high here to identify some resistances. I'm trying to just teach us the basics today. That's why I think in my learning the fib retracement tool is I think it's a must in my opinion. But if you can just learn simple support and resistances, that's the big thing to learn. So for me, I don't usually play stuff unless I identify a pattern as well. So if I don't see a clear, concise pattern, I'll keep it on my watch list, but I won't probably play it. I would probably just wait for it to make a pattern. So whether that's a flag or a flag or a pennant or a cup or whatever, this isn't bad, but this is an ABC correction, possibly an ABCDE. So if Apple's over 136 tomorrow, then I would consider this a breakout. But if it hovers around in here, there's no reason to. So only play the breakouts above levels. So I love how everyone just comes in here and requests me to chart tickers. It's like I wanted to teach you guys stuff, and all you care about is me charting tickers. And I understand if you guys are in those plays, you want the reassurance that you're going to make money. I get that. Yeah, so why don't we let's do something. Maybe this will be fun. Let's replay. Let's go right here. So maybe this will help. So let's say we saw Apple here and you're not sure if this is done or not. You're like, I don't know what's going on here. Let's chart this out from here and see if we could have projected levels. Now it's a little different because I know where it's going, but let's see if we could project where this was going. I would have gone low to high on the most recent move. I would have done a fib fan down here. I would have done a retracement down as well. So from here, I probably still wouldn't be sure. What I would probably do is a trend line down like this. You can see that hasn't broken anything. You can see that these trend lines don't mean much. So let's see if we can play this a little slow. Update 1 every 2 seconds. Let's go every 3 and let's play this. And so we can see the next ticker. We'll see what this comes out. So we can see here you had a big green candle here. Let me zoom in. These are 15-minute candles here, so this might be a good way to teach you guys some stuff. And so you can see this is a very, let's turn on volume as well here. Indicators. Volume. Alright. And on the volume you can settings. Let's turn on a moving average. Okay, there we go. So let's see, you see this downtrend break. It's a clear downtrend break with a very healthy candle. And oh my god, what's going on here? My settings on here are pretty standard. I just changed the colors because I like the colors how I have. I did turn off the background because having the background on is just annoying as fuck, in my opinion. So I just do the simple, I do all of them up to the 368, and I don't use any of these other ones, but these are the ones that I use. So alright, let me read some of these comments here. Thank you, Nerwolf. Chris, it's the simplest answer in the world. You find the most recent trend, you go from the high to the low. It's really simple, or low to the high. So if you're doing a retracement down, you go high to low, and if you're doing a retracement up, you go low to high. So on a bull run, you go low to high. On a bear run, you go high to low. So it's always the most top peak to the lowest peak. Yeah, Rule is a big fib fan. I mean, again, you go high to low at the very end of the ticker. It's not that hard. So let's move on though, and let's see if we can figure out where this is going. So we see this. Okay, now we have a tweezers there. This might be reversing. Yep, reverse down. We got some indecision, but we got a looks like it's kind of deciding where it wants to go here. So we're not doing anything yet, but it does look like, oh, okay, we have a gap up there. And some indecision candles. And for me, I'm not touching this until it breaks a fib line or shows increased volume, because this is still going down, but it's starting to curve back up. So it's probably going to fill this gap potentially, unless it holds the 113 mark. Well, we could speed this up a little. So it looks like it's kind of bull flagging now. Oh, now it's starting to fill the gap, and looks like it just filled the gap there. I don't use MACD. I know some people do, but the problem I find with MACD is it's a lagging indicator. Okay, so that was a very nice candle right there, and there's your gap up, and there's your gap fill that's starting. There's the gap fill and reversal, and now we have a trend line. Hold on, let's pause this here. So let's talk about what just happened there. So now you can see that it gapped up, it filled the gap, made an uptrend line. It finished this line right here, it gapped up and filled the gap, and it's continuing to fill this, and so now it's above the 236, and we can start to think this is reversing. So this could be a good entry point. So at no point, as this, you can see from the very top here, this total downtrend line, not only did it gap up above it here, it held it as resistance. So right here would be a very good long entry, or we could get a couple week out calls here and see where it goes. So for me, this is a very good sign of reversal. Let's see where it goes. So it'll probably retest here and go from there, and then when it hits this line right here is where I expect a big movement. Let's see what happens. Ooh, so it rejected there as resistance. It's riding it down, and it's riding it down. It hit support right here, and now it just broke below the support, and it's riding this down right here. So you're seeing a major move down on this fib circle, and that would be we would have gotten out, we would have stop lossed on the 236 break here. So as soon as we saw it right here, we would have definitely taken profits if we gotten back in here for sure. So we would not be touching this at all right now. We would be setting up and waiting for a new entry point. Let's talk about the fib circle. Got some questions on that. So what I did was I took the last move. If you set this circle up, this is going to look way different. I have custom settings on here. So I found the very last move from here, that went low. So this, you could see this was a clear bullish move after a correction. So no real downtrend, clear uptrend here. I would have taken the very bottom here, and so basically you take it from the top to the very bottom, and that's how you know where that move's going to happen. So fib circles can be very powerful when used right, and I don't know a lot of people that use them. I'm probably one of the only people that I trade with that use them. Now that I'm using them, more people I see use them, and I've seen a lot of improvements in people's games, and I really like it. So what we can see here, just hopefully that answered some questions. I do have a video on fib circles, so if you want to go watch it, you can go watch it on my channel. So I see some very bullish activity starting to pop up right here. So I would say this, let me clone this bottom line right here. So there we go. So I suspect, just based on this, you can see this clear downtrend. This is a falling wedge. This should pop and retest the 116. So you might want to take a small entry here, and then when it breaks this downtrend, that would be where you maybe add to it. Let's see what happens. So now it just broke right there. It's got increased volume right there, and it is clearly going back up. So falling wedge, broke above it. Ooh, it's starting to retest it now. So this is good. This is healthy. So this falling wedge, it's retesting it, and if it bounces here, that's even more of an indication. So this you might have entered here and gotten stop lossed out, and so you can see, ooh, okay, that would have been your stop loss right there. So, oh, do not remember this happening, and that's okay. So now it's filling this wedge, filling this gap right here. Ooh, got some whiskey in the throat. Excuse me. Oh. So this broke the pattern here and broke the channel, and that's why it gapped down so hard. Because when it broke this channel, that basically means everyone wanted to sell. Alright, hold on one second. Let's clean this up and start over here. Alright, let's pause it. That's a big candle, or big volume candle right there. So now what we're seeing here on this bigger pattern, and always be cognizant of the bigger pattern. So you can clearly see a falling wedge on the bigger pattern. I just showed you a mini falling wedge that didn't have great success, unfortunately. It did have minor success with this breakout right here, but you know, if you used your trailing stop losses, you probably would have broken even on it, and it wouldn't have been a great play. But this isn't, you know, a super awesome setup either. You know, we don't want to play setups on the 15 minutes. We want to play setups on the 2 hours and 4 hours. So let's just watch this a little bit more, and then we'll do another ticker. So you can clearly see right here a head and shoulders as well. So that was something that what happened was it hit resistance here, and that's where you would have probably been having, you would have probably plotted that out. I've just been kind of watching. I didn't have that set up, so you clearly see there was a resistance here, and it rejected off of it. And when I rejected off of it, that would, in real time, hopefully you would have taken your profit if you were playing this falling wedge right here. So ideally, you're going to see this bounce here, and let's see what happens. So it's testing this resistance here on the bottom, and it broke down, and now it's rubber banding back, or not. you would have definitely, if it broke this, you would have stayed far away from this as possible. Holy cow, Apple. Struggling with the resistance line here. Got the channel right there. There we go. There we go. Yeah, let's talk about one of the custom technical alerts. Which one you want? Well, I'll keep this going, but which one you want? I'm trying to do some back testing, so I wanted to try to show you in real time how you could chart. I'm not touching AMC and GME. I think those are way too unpredictable right now. The initial run is over. You probably are going to see some aftershocks, as I call them, where people are going to keep trying to play it, but they're never going to have the movement of the initial one. So what you're seeing now is a breakout pattern, and until this gets over this line right here, I still am not going to touch this. I mean, ideally you wouldn't be in this at all, because the pattern's never. I mean, Apple on this. I mean, people love Apple. Don't get me wrong. What you're seeing here, though, what looks like here is an impulse Elliott wave starting, because you got a clear pattern break right here, an inverse head and shoulders. So you can see shoulder, head, shoulder, breakout, and now you're seeing basically like a flag forming. So this is probably doing something like this, and something like, oops, trend line like this. Just adjust this down. There we go. It looks like it's retesting the breakout right here. So it double bottomed here. Ping pong between these resistances. Turtle Joe, can you be a little bit more specific? Like when you're talking about past trades, are you talking like a back tester, or? I mean, this one has a back tester in it. That's what I'm using, is this this replay button right here to go back in time and then replay it. Let me show you CVS here once this is done with this wedge here. Super Fortuna isn't something I can just add. I have to take hours and customize Super Fortuna per ticker. That's why there's only certain tickers that have it right now. It takes a very, very long time. I can't just do it on live. I know you guys want to see it. Fish, I have a whole course on Elliott waves. I would recommend looking into that. I have 4 episodes out already. Geo, I like that. I think those will hit. So You can see a breakaway gap here and a pennant forming. Let's see what happens when it gets above 114. Yeah, Trader View is a good one. I've heard that a lot. I don't typically use them. Typically, I know why something doesn't work, and it's because I'm stupid and I missed something, most likely. Um, there's some out there. I haven't explored them a lot. Um, Typically, trusting a computer. It, I mean, I wouldn't really want to trust a live auto charting software. Now, if something helps me and I can adjust it, that's one thing. So you can see these old resistances still matter, and now they're coming into play again. So it's struggling with this line right here. Turtle, man, what a story. I'm not gonna say I haven't been there, Turtle. I that happened to me too. So this is Trading View. Oh yeah, you got lots of time. You'll be fine. Alright, this is boring. This is driving me nuts. Let's look at CVS. So, alright, so last night at like 12:30 I went and did this when I was falling asleep. And basically I saw some patterns here in the stock, and I was like, okay, if this breaks out here, this could be reversing, and this could be very good. So let me show you what I was seeing. So clearly I have this bottom line here. So you can see here this has been an important line recently. And so you can see it served as a breakaway gap here, and then this had formed an island. This is crazy right here, by the way. That's what a reversal. So anyways, you have a clear line that forms support and resistances across here. So it's resistance here and it's resistance here. And now it's starting to turn into support. So that's a very key element, that resistance turns support is very bullish. So now you have this downtrend channel, which I charted out. And so what I did was, oh, thank you, Francisco. Appreciate that. What I did was, I just basically set a custom alert. So if this channel broke out early, we knew to get in. So for me, like when you see channel breaks based around bullish supports, or basically old resistance turn supports, that to me is a huge play. So you got old resistance turn support and a bullish channel break. That's telling me that we're going to reverse here and possibly retest 77. So I took a couple week out calls because I don't know if this is going to ping pong around here for a while. But I think if I take a couple weeks out, I think I got the 19th here. So I have earnings in there. So what I believe is going to happen is this going to play the run up to earnings, and this could, I think it was up after hours. Yep, so it's forming a little flag here, pennant, whatever you want to call it. So, what time is it? 20 minutes? Alright, so I got through some basic lessons. Hopefully you learned some stuff. I don't usually do live lessons. It's much easier for me to make videos because I can research them and plan them. And I think they're a little bit more precise. I actually find doing some ticker requests is actually kind of nice. But, alright, so let's look at, let's just take a quick look, because I know people love it. Oh, Concabar. So you're probably questioning, how do I find my stocks? Where do I look for stocks? Um, I mean, you can. There's a free scanners on FinViz. Barchart.com has some really good resources. MarketBeat, Yahoo Finance is pretty decent. Um, investing.com. Uh, there's a lot of them out there. What's the alpha one? Seeking Alpha has good articles. I like to read a lot of articles. I like to read a lot of. Yeah, we can do Tesla. Um, I like to read a lot of articles and things like that. I'm always looking for ideas. I have my alpha scanners that I run, and I do things like that. So just keep in mind that I do run some scanners, but I also read a lot. So I want to see what other people are looking at. And you guys tell me a lot of tickers too. Like the reason we have a community is that we don't have to do it all ourselves. We can talk about it each other. Like when you guys suggest stuff, I do try to look at it. Now, when there's 100,000 people suggesting things, I can't always look at things. So um, let's keep that in mind. So let's just take. I'm gonna rapid fire some stuff here. GME is done, done, done. That is very bearish. Um, AMC doesn't look as bearish actually. GME looks done though. Um, AMC is still holding this line down here. Now, and it is filling some gaps here. Now it did ping pong off of the 382 here, so be careful on that. I'd like to see what happens here. So you're a nice guy, Francisco. I appreciate that. I think you requested Tesla. So, all right. So I was wondering if Tesla was going to ABC or ABCDE. I had a feeling it might go down here, but it did look like it reversed off of this area right here, which I'm going to be honest, I probably wouldn't have predicted that. I would have figured it would have come down to this support zone here. So the fact that it reversed here could be more of something else, but either way, it is still supporting my overall theory. So let's readjust this and see what happens. I mean, as much as I try to be right, it's all probability based, so not everything is right all the time. So this could be a wave 4. So I imagine what it's going to do is probably retest right here. So I would probably be short-term bearish. I would think it's going to do an ABC down, something like this, and hit this line right here. So probably going to retest 448, 450. But after that, then it could reverse. So from there is where we could see it. That's not the right one. I want this one. So from here is where I would be a little bit more bullish. I'd like to see some more action here going on. Unless it can get over this line right here. So, I mean, if it can get over 461 and hold it, it's just kind of in that zone where I don't feel comfortable saying it's going to go either way, because it is at support here as well. That's the thing. Like if you zoom in here, it could double bottom at 453, or it could break down to 447. So until it does one of those things, we don't really know which direction it's going to go. And it's still in a downtrend, and maybe it's in a tiny collapsing wedge, but for the most part, I would just avoid this altogether and wait for something to happen. If you're in it, well, maybe that you're taking some risks there. So I do appreciate the tips. So I do try to get through those tickers as fast as I can, but I do know gotta let people here. So ARLP, I swear to God, every single request I get is like some $1 to $5 ticker, 9 times out of 10. It's so ridiculous how crazy that gets. All right, let's get into it. I don't shy away from them though. Let's do it. All right, so this is looking actually pretty bullish. So what you're seeing here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're probably going to see one more bounce here. So what you're seeing here is a wave 1 sharp retracement, wave 3 flat retracement. You're seeing a cup and handle. So basically you have a cup and handle neckline here. You have a retrace solid bounce off of it. You have a bull pennant right here. So this is a nice find. Appreciate you shouting this out. You know, this looks pretty nice. So what you're going to do when you're looking at this, I don't know what it's to do anything after hours. Nothing really broke below it. So the after hours, it looks like it's at 613. Hopefully it comes back in tomorrow. You're going to want to have your stop loss. If you're in it, your stop loss is going to be right here at $6. So below $6, this is invalidated and it's a no-go. So now your breakout is going to be this old line right here. So your breakout's going to be at 627. So 627 is going to break out of this flag. And then to measure the movement, you're going to use a fib extension. You're going to go last move, low to high. If I could actually click on stuff. So you're going to go last move, low to high. You're going to pull that over. And your target's going to be somewhere in here. Now you could do a bunch of other things to determine tide waves and all into that. But I would say between 680 and 690 would be a decent price target there. So maybe you capture a 70 cent move, you know, but that's still what, 12-13%. That's not bad. So zoom out. Alright, fair enough. Is this a energy stock? Utility? Coal? It's coal? Okay. So they mine coal. Why is it down so much? Is it just shorted? What's the short ratio on the ARLP? Let's go into let's I think some people will appreciate this. I usually use shortsqueeze.com to check out short data. ARLP. Nope, it's wow. So it is actually got no. That's shocking. I would have thought this would have been shorted more with it being that low. I think people just don't want to own it. So I mean, it's. Let's go into the financials on this. I think more people have been asking me to do that, so we can dive into that. So, what kind of cash flow has this got? So total revenue 400 million a quarter, net income 35. So it's making about 35 in about. I mean, it just turned positive the last couple quarters. It was losing money. It's starting to make money again, which is good. Liabilities to assets is about 2 to 1, which isn't awful. Book to share value is a little high. Cash flow is increasing, which is good. Okay, that's good. That's good. Price to sales, price to EBITDA, enterprise, quick ratio, current ratio, debt to S. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. This might be a good. I mean, if you're wondering, this could be a decent stock to go long on. I don't really know much about it. I know short term it looks good, just going off the technicals, but I mean, you'd have to if you wanted to go long term on it, you've really got to go into the fundamentals. But just quick glancing at them, it's not bad. I don't fully trust TradingView's fundamentals. I'd probably do a double check on that if you're going to put some money in this long term. But yeah, short term, I think it looks pretty decent. So if you wanted to see some short term fibs, you could go, say, an hour out, and you could draw a fib from here to here. Let's do that. So what you're looking at here is it's struggling with the 382. I mean, it's pretty clear that it's struggling with it. So if it gets out of 382, it could actually go. I mean, this 7 to 750 range would be interesting to me. No, I haven't done square yet. I have been getting a lot of requests for hexo. I think I swear I charted hexo on the live the other night. And I did, yeah. Okay, so I had this charted. You can see here, it was very clear what was going to happen. You had a really nice pennant forming. You had a breakout and breakout with volume. The volume is still going down though, which is interesting. I was hoping this volume would be more. So it might come back down and retest here. So this was a nice play today. Wheat in general was very bullish. I've been watching it for a couple weeks now, and I was hoping it would break out sooner, but I'm happy that I was able to get in and make some really good profits on it. So Ford was another one. I got in Ford today. Ford was another one that was a custom call out. So what I was looking at here. Oh, thank you, Gio. I appreciate that. Let me pour myself a little more, a little something something here. I think I saw Ford flying after hours too. If we turn on extended hours here, you can see Ford is actually up, I think like 16 cents after hours. So it's not expensive whiskey. It's like $20 for 175. Evan Williams is not. I'm not like crazy rich as people think I am. I work and I have a lot of expenses, and my wife has expensive taste. You can see a head and shoulders going here. You have a bull pennant here. What I was looking at here was a breakout of this old resistance here. So what I did was I set an alert here on the support line here and this resistance line here, and the custom alert went off when it broke this on this candle wick right here. So we saw a retest down to this trend line right here. And it looks like it bull pennant right into the end of the day to burn some theta, but I do expect this to burst out tomorrow. Hold on one second. See, I check something. Let me check something here real quick. So Ford has earnings after hours tomorrow. So if you're in Ford, be very careful about holding it through earnings tomorrow after hours. So I do expect to be very bullish tomorrow. Could even retest $12. So we will see. The chart is extremely bullish. So let's see what happens on it. I mean, this could, in theory, gap up to $13 off of earnings, but it is a huge risk. So if you make some money tomorrow on it, I would highly recommend at least taking your original investment back out. So, and Turtle, how'd you do today on those? I bet you did pretty damn good. Alright, let's do... what time is it? I got a couple minutes here. Yeah, if you want to be nice, throw me a couple likes. I never turn down likes. So, I really like full. I mentioned it. I think on the stream yesterday or day before that. I think I've liked Ford Leaps since $6. I mean, Ford at $6 is just a stupid steal. And on this breakout right here, even at $9, it's still a steal. And honestly, even at $11, it's still kind of a steal. So why don't we wait until earnings happen tomorrow, and then let's see what happens after that. So keep that in mind that this could be really good. So all right, let's I'm just trying to read through some comments here. Uh, I've been bullish on NNDM for a while. I wonder if my chart is still up on it. Oh, maybe I'm not bullish on it. Why did I draw that? That's interesting. That might play out actually. So what you're seeing here is what looks to be a three-wave up. So is it up after hours? No, I mean, I don't remember why I drew this. I probably did something. Let's see what happens here. I'd have to double check why I drew that. I don't remember. I do like that this, I mean, let's get rid of that. So, I mean, you can see this tilted cup and handle right here, and the overextension, and what I imagine will probably happen is you might get a flag here. So this might come back and kind of A, B, C, D, E in here. So this might do something like this. And then we'll get our next move. So this moved really fast and the volume is falling. So I don't expect this to move very rapidly sooner than later, but you never know. So let's see if I'm right on this. I'll keep this up here and we'll go from there. So Nvidia had a lot of flow today, and I bought into it just based off the flow, and I knew I had it previously charted here. So I haven't changed this in forever. Looks like this did break below this, so it looks like this is actually that there. That looks a little better. Yeah, that looks nice. So looks like what's happening here is Nvidia is breaking out of this pennant for the third time and retesting here. So I mean, it's nighttime. Yeah, I have Clovis. So let me show you what I saw in Clovis and why I called out the lotto. So I have a customer alert already set up on this, but I mean, I was looking at it, and this thing could easily burst sooner than later. So what we're looking at here is clearly a flat correction here, but it is coiling really hard. If we look at the 15-minute, you could clearly see the coils on it. And so what we're looking at here potentially is an A, B, C, D, E. So that means this would be the breakout wave here. Take a sip first. You're silly. So what's happening here is you have a slight downtrend that it rejected off of here. But we have an uptrend here, so it's getting tighter and tighter. And as volume falls down, this is going to make a decision here. So you can see the trend line here is it's falling down farther and farther, and these big spikes, I think any day now we get a big move here. So but what I was looking at, I wanted to kind of show you, I was looking at is when I called it, this is what it looked like. Replay. So this is when I called it. So this is what I saw when I called the lotto. Is I had this, I was trying to adjust this. So I saw this falling wedge, which is typically pretty bullish after an ABCDE. And so I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's free on the Discord, and there's lots of alerts that are free. Sure, absolutely. We do lottery for free, Fortuna's free. So a lot of alerts are free. A lot of the other um, traders that are really good at what they do always chart out what they're looking at. I throw charts up all the time. So yeah, check it out and hang out and if nothing else, take the education for free and go find your own plays. I don't like people relying on me. Mine's more of a software-based server. Um, I don't like being the person people rely on. It kind of stresses me out. I like making the software that tells all of us when to get in, including myself. You know, um, I buy off of my own software. It's the whole reason I made it was to personally use it. So if I didn't use it, why would I think other people could use it? So, again, like I saw this wedge forming right here, and so I alerted here, and then we got this breakout, but then it looks like it rejected here. So, Francisco, this is tradingview.com. So, it's just a free website, tradingview.com. So, that's the website right there. What we're seeing here, though, is what happened was it's going to retest this, so I'm going to be seeing what happens tomorrow. I think I saw it was up. Yeah, it's kind of sideways after hours, so. What's SPI? SPI Energy, another energy company. I see why you like this. Yeah, I think TradingView should sponsor me. I actually submitted for sponsorship from them and still haven't heard back. I mean, what is going on with this stock? What the? Why did it go? Did it have some sort of news or wait, what? 30 cents or a dollar to 46 in a day or two? What the? I just charted Tesla. Literally just charted it. So I apologize if you missed it, but you could replay this. So what I'm expecting to happen on SPI, you got a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd like it to bounce at 1074. Looks like it did after hours, so a breakout over 1150, and then this should retest 13. So I'm kind of beat. It's after 10. I've been going for an hour. That was kind of what I was planning on doing. Typically, I don't. Wednesday I try to spend time with my wife, but I wanted to get some education out this week, so I appreciate everyone joining. But I'm going to get off now and relax, and hopefully you all have a good night. Bonus. I did say I was going to look at futures. I had looked at futures to start the night. Let's look at futures real quick, and then we'll get off. Okay, that's not good. Looks like futures took a dump. I had been talking about how I didn't think futures would take a dump, but this is kind of a diamond pattern, and that's usually bearish. So hopefully it hits support right here. That would be what we would like. So what you're seeing here, actually, if it does rebound right here, that might not be so bad, because what you're seeing here potentially is this would be what you ideally want to see if you're bullish. So you're going to have an inverse head and shoulders here, and that's what we want to see. But this break below here is, we would have hoped for it to break above, but I mean, this is kind of what we had going on up here too. So you got this diamond pattern. Let's see what happens. I'm not gonna get too excited yet. We got a lot of news that's coming out tonight still, so let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. This is 4K. If you can't see it, I'd recommend changing your quality to 1080p. So I'll hang out in the Discord for a while. So if you guys want some requests or anything, I'll try to get to them. But other than that, have a great night, everyone. Yeah, it makes a difference when you go from auto to 1080p. So remember that for next time.